Hi everyone, Janine Washburn here, and I'm really excited to be bringing to you a slow flow, kind of more restorative yoga sequence. So the goal here and the purpose is really to just down regulate your nervous system, to calm your body, calm your mind. We're really going to focus a lot on the hips because we tend to store a lot of emotions in the hips. So we'll be doing a lot of hip openers, a lot of longer holds so that you can really get into the connective tissue and start to break up that fascia and get the blood flowing back into your muscles, and just hopefully have you leaving this flow and this practice feeling grounded and calm and peaceful and all of those feelings that we want to cultivate more of. So I'm going to start with guiding you through a little bit of breath work combined with a little bit of a guided meditation, just to really create a sacred space on your mat so that you can move from a place of calmness and ease. So before we begin, all you need is a yoga mat. You can even just use a towel and just yourself. You don't need any other equipment. And we're going to begin in Supta Baddha Konasana, otherwise known as reclining bound angle pose. So I'm going to turn to the side here. You're going to bring the soles of your feet together and then just let your knees open nice and wide, and then lower yourself down all the way onto your back. And you can do a couple different things with your hands. You can just have your arms off to your sides. You can have arms overhead for a little bit more of a shoulder opener and also kind of releases your low back. Or you can take one hand, place it on your heart, the other hand on your stomach. So a lot of different options here. But to begin, I'm going to actually recommend placing your right hand on your belly and then your left hand on your heart. And then just take a moment to close your eyes or soften your gaze. And you may already notice as your knees start to move closer down towards the earth that this is a hip opener. So just take a few moments to settle into your space, to be grateful for meeting yourself on your mat today. We're going to start with a 3-part breath. So as you inhale, you're always inhaling in through your nose for the next few rounds, and you'll exhale out through your mouth. And as you inhale, I want you to feel the breath in 3 different parts. I want you to feel the belly start to rise, the rib cage start to flower open and expand, and your collarbone starting to lift up. And then the same goes for exhaling out the mouth. You'll feel that collarbone drop, the rib cage contract, and the belly release back in towards your spine. So on your next inhale breath, take a deep, full inhale through your nose. Let the belly rise, rib cage open, collarbone lift. At the top of your inhale, open your mouth and exhale, sigh it out nice and loud. When you come to the bottom of your exhale, close, seal the lips, inhale through the nose. Open mouth, exhale. Feeling the 3-part breath. Inhale, belly, ribs, collarbone. Exhale, collarbone, ribs, and belly. Take that 2 more rounds on your own. Inhale through the nose. Open mouth, exhale. One more time, inhale. Open mouth, exhale. And we'll do a few more rounds of the same type of breath, but I want you to breathe in for the count of 2, in through the nose, open mouth, exhale for the count of 4. So we're doubling our exhale, which just allows the body and the mind to just release and let go of anything you no longer need. So inhale for the count of 1, 2, hold at the top, open your mouth, exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Seal the lips, inhale through the nose for 1, 2, hold at the top, open the mouth, exhale, side out for 4, 3, 2, 1. Take that 2 more rounds on your own, inhaling for 2, exhaling for 4. Then seal the lips from here. Just start to breathe in and out through your nose. Find an equal part breath. So your inhale and your exhale is equal. And as you exhale, think about restricting the back of your throat like you're trying to fog up a mirror but with your nose. So you're just breathing in and out through your nose, finding that ujjayi breath. If you've been in a yoga class before, that is your victorious breath. And it sounds like an ocean as you exhale. Take a few more rounds of breath here. As you settle into your breath, keep breathing in through your nose and exhaling through your nose. Take a moment to scan your body from the crown of your head all the way down through the tips of your toes. Notice if there's any spaces or places that feel tight, that feel tense. And use your breath to send that energy into those spaces to relax. Notice where you can let go, release a little bit further down into your mat. Notice if you're holding tension behind your jaw, behind your eyes, and just let everything feel soft here. 3 more rounds of that beautiful breath. And carefully open your eyes. You're going to keep that breath breathing in and out through your nose. Bring your gaze up towards the ceiling. Take your hands to the outsides of your thighs, and just as if you're closing the pages of a book, lift those thighs back in towards one another and hug your knees into your chest. Rock side to side, massaging your low back and your spine. And take those knees into little circles. And take the circles the other direction. And then start to rock yourself forward and back. And then start to gain some momentum, finding enough momentum to rock you all the way up to seated. I'm going to turn to face towards the camera and find a nice cross-legged, easy pose, Sukhasana, in the center of your mat. Bring your hands to your knees and sit up nice and tall. So think about pressing down through your sits bones and pressing up through the crown of your head. So the spine is nice and long and lifted. Pull the belly button in through the spine and then drop your left ear towards your left shoulder. Again, you can close your eyes and just focus on breathing in and out through your nose. Drop your chin to your chest. Inhale and exhale. Right ear to right shoulder. Come back up through center. Open your eyes. Inhale, your arms reach up towards the sky, and exhale your hands back down at your heart center in prayer. Closing your eyes, maybe taking a moment to set your intention, to your purpose for your practice. Maybe it's a feeling you want to cultivate more of in your life. Maybe you want more joy or more peace or more strength or more trust. Whatever it is that you want to cultivate more of, take that moment right here to set that intention, that feeling. And go ahead and open your eyes. Take your hands back down to your knees. Inhale your arms up. And then exhale, take a side bend to the right. Right arm goes down, left arm reaching up and over. And really actively reach through your fingertips so the whole left side of your body is feeling a nice big stretch. And then press that left sit bone back down into the earth. Take another inhale and exhale here. Inhale, come back up through center, reach both arms back up to the sky. Exhale, take the side bend to the left. Bring that left forearm down, right arm reaching up and over, creating space between those intercostal muscles in your rib cage. Breathe in and out through your nose. On your next inhale, lift back up towards the sky. And then exhale, fold forward, reach your fingertips forward. Let your head be heavy down towards the earth. And then gently start to sway side to side. Keep walking your fingertips forward. You should feel a nice big yummy stretch for the outsides of your hips here. And then from here, start to sweep your hands over towards the right. So the outside left hip feels that stretch. Inhale and exhale. Still restricting the back of your throat. Come through center with your fingertips and then reach and stretch over to the left as you stretch out the back side of that right outer hip. Come back through fingers towards the center with your fingers and then walk your fingertips back towards your body. Inhale your arms up. And then exhale, this time take a twist over to the right. So left hand comes to the outer side of your right knee. Pull the belly in first. Sit up nice and tall. And then on your exhale, see if you can twist deeper, looking past your back right shoulder. Hold here for another round of inhale and exhale. Okay, wringing out a dish rag. Inhale, unwind, reach your arms back up to the sky. And exhale, twist opposite direction, right hand to left knee. Sit up nice and tall, engage the core, and exhale, twist deeper. One more inhale and exhale here. Inhale, unwind, reach the arms back up, and exhale, forward fold again, getting into that outer hips. Let your head be nice and heavy. You can shake it yes and no. Again, you can sway side to side, or you can find some stillness here. On your inhale, take a little bit of a lift. Lift your gaze, lift your upper body, and exhale, fold even deeper. And then walk your fingertips back in towards your body. From here, take your left leg forward and your right leg back. So in your bar class, this would be kind of the setup that you would take for that pretzel. So you've got that 90-degree bend in both of your knees. And if you can, maybe trying to stack or take that knee slightly behind your hip. Square your hips forward. Inhale so if your right leg is back behind you, your right hand comes to your right back foot. Inhale your left arm high, and then exhale, side bend over to the right for that mermaid stretch. Hold here for an inhale and exhale. Inhale your arm back up to the sky, and then exhale, take your hand so it's in line with your left hip. And then lift your hips up, sweep the right arm up. So it's a little bit of a back bend and pressing your hips up. Hip opener, reaching actively through those right fingertips. Lower it back down. We're going to take that again. Right hand to right foot. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, side bend. Inhale, back up through center. Exhale, hand goes down in line with hip. Inhale, reach your hips up, press up, reach back with that right hand. And exhale, lower back down. This is also so great for that low back area. So we're going to switch that out. Bring your right leg forward. Take your left leg back behind you, setting up in that 90-degree bend with both legs. Take your left hand to your left ankle or left foot. Inhale your right arm to sky and exhale, side bend. Hold for an inhale and exhale. Inhale, arm back up to sky. Exhale, hand in line with your right hip. Lift the hips up, reach the left arm up and back, and bring your gaze with your left fingertips. Press your hips towards me. And then exhale, lower it back down, taking that hand down to your ankle. Inhale, arm up. Exhale, side bend. Inhale, back up. And exhale, hand down. Inhale, hips lift, arm reaches, find that back bend. And exhale, come back down through center. All right, from here, coming down onto your mat, onto all fours, your tabletop position. We're gonna rinse that out with a few cat-cows. So make sure your hands are spread. Your hands are underneath your shoulders, your fingertips spread nice and wide, so your thumbs are pointing towards one another. Your knees are underneath your hips. Bring your gaze forward as you inhale, start to lift The seat, lift the heart, belly drops towards the earth, and then exhale, round your back up towards the sky, lower your eyes towards your thighs, really press the earth away, pull the belly in tight. And maybe you close your eyes as you take a few more rounds and be intentional with your movement, like you're moving through mud or like you're watching a slow motion video. Inhale, arch and open, lift the heart, lift the seat. Exhale, round. Take that a few more rounds, creating space in between the vertebrae of your spine. And really use your breath to drive the movement. Let's do 2 more rounds. One more, in and out through your nose. And then find a strong, neutral spine. Pull the belly in, bring your gaze forward, and walk yourself up towards the top part of your mat. So we're going to do kind of a modified version of pigeon. We're going to get into the more intense version of pigeon towards the end of our flow, but just to kind of warm up the hips a little bit more, start with your left leg. Take your left leg straight back behind you, and then lift it up to hip height, point through your toes, and then take your left leg and cross it on a diagonal over to the outside of your right mat. Sink your hips back and sink into, and you can even come down onto your forearms, kind of a modified pigeon. So we're sinking kind of down on a diagonal, again getting into that outer right hip. And just use your breath here. Relax your shoulders, relax your jaw. Use that inhale and exhale to help you surrender and soften anything that feels tight. And making sure that you're being a student of your own body and knowing the difference between a really intense stretch and something that feels painful. If you feel any pain, come out of this pose and modify it as you need to. But just really listen into your own body. One more inhale and exhale. And then carefully coming back up through center, coming back to your all fours for your second side. So take that right leg straight back behind you, lift it up to hip height, point the toes, and then sweep it over on the diagonal. Once you touch that foot down, sink back into that left hip. And you may notice that one side feels totally different than the other side. That's completely normal and natural. And just kind of take a mental note here, but no expectations, no judgment of where your body is today, just an awareness. And then around that awareness bring some gratitude into where you are right here and right now. And breathe. Continue to restrict the back of your throat on that exhale breath. And then carefully coming back out of it, making your way back to tabletop. So from here, you're going to tuck your toes under and then start to lift your hips up and then press them back. Find your downward facing dog. So this is your inverted V. If this feels really tight, especially on the back of your legs, take a moment to kind of walk out your dog, bend one knee and then bend the other. You can shake your head yes and no. And the goal with downward facing dog is not so much stretching out the backs of your legs or bringing the heels down to the mat. It's more focusing on lengthening through your spine. So to set that up to make sure you're really finding length in your spine, find some stillness in your inverted V and then take a deep, deep bend in your knees. So that releases the back sides of your legs, your hamstrings. And then while you have that deep bend, press your chest towards your thighs. So you'll notice the whole spine is lengthening, your tailbone's lifting up, your sits bone's lifting up in towards the sky. And I even like to look at the tops of my thighs. So with this lengthened spine and your biceps turning in towards one another, start to straighten your legs as much as you're able to and start to energetically drop those heels down to the earth. If they do not make them there, that's perfectly fine. And just hold here for a few breaths. Coming back to that inhale and exhale through the nose.
And if you want to play with this downward facing dog to see where you can create this shape where you can breathe a little bit easier, maybe it's walking your hands closer to your feet, maybe it's creating more space, walking them away. And we'll take this into a little bit of a flow. So on your next inhale, shift yourself forward. Your hands and your feet should mostly just stay right where they are. You're shifting forward into a high plank. And then on your exhale, press the hips up and back. Find that downward facing dog. We'll do that a few more times. Inhale brings you forward. Exhale, press it up and back. Inhale forward. Exhale, hips up and back, down dog. 2 more. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, down dog. 1 more. Inhale, high plank. And exhale, down dog. From your downward facing dog, bring your gaze forward into that space between your hands and start to travel, walking your feet up towards your hands until you find a forward fold at the top of your mat. Once you're there, let your head be really heavy. Tilt your pelvis down like you're dumping out a bowl of water and your sits bones pressing up. And then if it feels good, you can take clasp opposite elbow just to kind of help gravity pull you closer down to the earth. Hanging out in ragdoll, you can sway side to side. If the backs of your legs are still giving you some feedback and they still feel really tight, then take a soft bend in your knees to release the backs of your legs. And then switch the grip, opposite arm comes forward. Continue to breathe. And then carefully lower your hands down to the earth. Slowly, again, like you're moving in slow motion, 1 vertebrae at a time, restack your spine. Let your head be heavy, let your arms dangle. Just start to lift it up. Pressing through your heels, engaging your thighs, and your head will be the last to lift. Once you lift your head, roll your shoulders up, press them back, and roll down. Do that 1 more time. Roll up, press it back, and down. So from here, we're going to move into a sun salutation, sun A, with some side bends, and we're going to take it nice and slow. We're going to go through it a few times just to kind of get that muscle memory and really get the breath work down as well. So I'll guide you through the first 2, and then the last one I'll talk a little bit less and allow you to really just experience that flow. So come to the top of your mat, bring your feet hip width apart and parallel, and really lift your thighs right above your knees to really engage your glutes and your thighs. Make sure your pelvis is nice and neutral. Roll your shoulders back and down, arms go down by your sides. Now imagine you're rooting down like you're creating roots through your feet. So lift all 10 toes off the mat, spread them wide, then press them back down into the earth and press through all 4 corners of your feet. And then at the same time, you're pressing up through the crown of your head like you're trying to create more space in your body, more space for that beautiful breath. On your inhale, reach your arms up to the sky, clasp your hands and point your index fingers. On your exhale, take a side bend to the right. So your hips go to the left, hands go to the right. Inhale through center. Exhale, side bend to the left, hips go to the right. Inhale through center. If you want to take a back bend, take your hands back like you're trying to place your hands in your back pockets, fingertips point down, press the hips forward and lift up and out of the low back. So make sure you're not dumping into your low back, but you're really lifting up and out. Inhale through center, hands to heart center. Exhale with a flat back, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift. Hands come to your shins, gaze is forward, neck is long. Exhale, forward fold. And then take from here, take your feet back to high plank. So your vinyasa is really 4 different poses. Starting in high plank, on your exhale, you lower down. You can either drop to your knees and lower down from there, or you can stay on your toes, lower down through chaturanga. This is bottom of your push-up. On your inhale, you arch and open, find upward facing dog. And then exhale, roll over the toes, press the hips up and back, downward facing dog. So those 4 poses create or are part of your vinyasa. Take one more round of breath here in your downward facing dog. Then bring your gaze forward, bend your knees, travel to the top of your mat. You can hop, step, or skip. Find your forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep your arms out to the side, stand up, clasp your hands. Right away, exhale, bend to the right, hips go to the left. Inhale through center. Exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale through center. Exhale, maybe you find that back bend. Inhale through center. Exhale, dive it forward, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. And exhale, top of your push-up. Keep that exhale going through your vinyasa, through chaturanga. Inhale, arch and open. Exhale, down dog. Take 2 cleansing breaths here, and we'll do that one more time, that entire sequence. Bend your knees, bring your gaze forward, travel to the top of your mat, find your forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse the swan dive, clasp the hands. Exhale, side bend to the right. Inhale through center, and exhale, side bend. Inhale, center. Exhale, back bend. Inhale, center. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift, and exhale through a vinyasa. Coming back to your downward facing dog. On your inhale, lift your right leg high, and then bend the knee, open the hip like you're trying to open that right hip up towards the sky. You can start to rotate that ankle. Maybe you hear a little snap, crackle, pop. And start to create some big circles with your knee, with your right knee. Keep breathing. And then start to straighten out that right leg. Square your hips. Inhale, lift that right leg high. And exhale, step it through in between your hands. Drop your back left knee down to the earth. And then walk your hands up to that right thigh in a nice low lunge. So when you're here, press your hips down and forward towards the front part of your mat. I'm going to just hang out here for a few breaths. If you would prefer to bring your hands back down to the earth, you can also kind of play around with this pose here. So you can either stay here, you can reach back with your right hand for your left foot, pull it in and get a quad stretch on that back leg, or just hang out right where you are. Breathe into the spaces and places that you feel the stretch. If you're holding onto that foot, go ahead and release it. Lift the back left knee off the mat so you're in a low lunge, and then sweep the right arm up to the sky for a dragonfly twist. Take a few big, huge arm circles here with that right arm. And then on your next time up, just keep that arm up. Stack your right shoulder over your left and breathe. And then carefully bring that right hand down. And then heel toe your right foot over to the outside of your right mat, or to the outside of the right side of your mat. Drop your back left knee. And then you're going to come into a lizard stretch. So a couple options here. This feels like a really intense stretch, so both your hands are on the inside of that right foot. You just hang out here. If you can and it feels comfortable, you can lower down onto your forearms and just hang out there. Another option would be to start to twist and open towards your right and take your right hand to your knee, and then your right toes are angled out to the side, and you're just starting to press that right knee away and open and add a little bit of a twist. So whatever feels good for you, again, being a student of your body and listening into where it needs to go. And just breathe. One more inhale and exhale. Then bring yourself back up onto your hands. Tuck your back left toes under, lift the back left knee, sweep that right leg back so you're in high plank. And just hold here for 3 rounds of breath. Spread out your fingers wide and really press into the tips of your fingers so you're taking it out of your wrist, pressing into the tops of the palms of your hands as well. Pressing energetically through the backs of your heels, squeezing your glutes and keeping your belly pulled in nice and tight. Bring your gaze towards the top of your mat. One more inhale and exhale. And then carefully lower your knees down to the earth. Bring your knees wide, maybe even wider than your mat. Bring your toes together, press your hips back, find child's pose. Forehead comes to the mat. Maybe flip your palms up to the sky for a deeper shoulder stretch. And as you sink into your child's pose, keep pressing your sits bones back towards your toes. And just really surrender into this resting pose. And then carefully come up through center, find your tabletop position, and we meet back in downward facing dog for that second side. So lifting back, up, hips up and back. On your inhale, lift that left leg high, bend the knee, open the hips, snap, crackle, pop, rotate your ankle. And then take some big, huge knee circles here. And then square the hips, straighten that left leg, inhale high, exhale, step it in between your hands, drop your back right knee, low lunge. Again, you can keep your hands right here, or you can walk your hands up towards that top thigh, or you can reach back with your left hand for your back right foot. So whatever feels good here in this low lunge, just stretching into that back hip flexor. And again, you're gonna notice that one side feels maybe a little bit tighter or less flexible than the other. And carefully release that foot if you're holding on to it. Heel toe that left foot out to the outside edge of your mat and bring your hands on the inside of that left foot. Tuck your back right toes, lift up, finding that lizard stretch. Again, you can drop down. Oh, come back up. I forgot about our dragonfly twist. So take your right hand down, left arm reaches up, inhale, and take a few circles here. Got ahead of myself. So that back knee is lifted, and then hold that left arm up, press back through that back heel, pull the belly in tight, and enjoy this twist. And then carefully lower your hand down. Now you drop the back knee. So you're coming into that lizard stretch. So again, option 1 is here. Option 2, lowering down onto your forearms. Or option 3, taking it into a little bit of a twist, pressing that knee away from you. Just making sure if you're doing that, that your toe is angled out, your foot is angled out on a diagonal away from the mat. And kind of just matching what you did on that first side, exploring through the outer part of your hip and that back hip flexor. Maybe even closing your eyes. Notice the tension and the tightness and just breathe about it. Relax into it. Use your breath as a way to tell your body that it's okay. Then come back up onto your hands. Sweep that left leg back. And again, find our child's pose. Toes together, knees wide, forehead down to the mat. One more round of breath. And then come up through tabletop. Let's meet in downward facing dog. Tuck the toes, lift the hips up, press the hips back.
On your inhale breath, lift your right leg high. Exhale, bring your knee to your nose. And then step it forward. So you're in a low lunge here. Press through your back heel. Keep that back heel lifted above the ball of your foot. Inhale, upper body lifts and arms arise. So this is your crescent lunge. One more inhale. And on your exhale, windmill your arms out and around. Find warrior two. So with warrior two, your right toes are pointing forward towards the top of your mat, and your left foot is parallel with the back side of your mat. Your arms are reaching in either direction, but you're squeezing your shoulder blades together, and your torso is above your hips. So you're not leaning forward, you're not leaning back. Your hips aren't tilting back, but you're sinking into a 90-degree bend as much as you're able to with that right leg. And then bring your gaze past your right fingertips. Press down through all four corners of both feet. Inhale, flip your right palm to the sky. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Left arm down, right arm reaching up and over. Inhale, back, warrior two. Straighten your right leg, so it should be starting to feel a little bit of a burn, so it's nice too that we get to straighten it. And then press your hips back as you reach your right finger forward, and then take your right arm down, your right leg. Lift your left arm high, triangle pose, Trikonasana. Bring your gaze either towards your fingertips, or if that doesn't feel good on your neck, you can bring your gaze forward. Try to work on stacking your left shoulder over your right, pulling the belly in, and keep pressing the right hip forward, left hip back. On your next inhale, bend into that right knee again. Tick-tock your arms back through warrior two. And then windmill your hands down to the mat. Step your right leg back and take a vinyasa. Finding your downward facing dog for a few breaths. And let's switch to the other side. Inhale your left leg high. Exhale, step it through, low lunge. Finding your balance points with both of your feet. Keep that back heel lifted. Inhale, torso lifts and arms arise, crescent lunge. So even though your fingertips are actively reaching, roll your shoulders back and down, pull the belly in, nice deep bend in that left knee. Gaze is forward. One more inhale, and exhale, windmill out and around, warrior two. So again, that bend is in that left knee. Your right foot is parallel with the back side of your mat, left toes pointing forward, and then you're trying to press that knee to the outside pinky edge of your left foot. Shoulders stacked over hips. Inhale, flip your left palm to the sky. Exhale, reverse warrior. Feel that nice, beautiful stretch in that left side body. Inhale back through warrior two. Straighten that left leg, press the hips back, reach the left arm forward until it can't reach anymore, then left arm down, right arm reaching up, triangle. So let that left hand be really light. You're not dumping into that left side. You're creating just as much space on the left side as you are on the right side of your body. On your next inhale, bend into that left knee. Come back through warrior two. Then windmill your hands down. Sweep the left leg back and take a vinyasa. Good. And then go ahead and drop to your knees. So from here, we're going to move into pigeon stretch. If traditional pigeon is not comfortable for you, if you have any knee sensitivity or it's just too much of a stretch, you can lay on your back and do your figure 4 cross ankle over thigh. Otherwise, you can come into this traditional pigeon stretch. So we're gonna hold here for a little while on each side, and what that allows your body to do is really get into those deep connective tissues, the fascia of your body, and just start to break it up and create some more blood flow. A lot of times we tend to store emotions in our hips, especially those negative emotions that really don't serve us. And so this is your opportunity to just let it all go and just let it release out. And sometimes, especially if you tend to be tight in your hips, it might take 4 or 5 breaths just to get into it to where you're all of a sudden going to start to feel a little bit of surrender and release. So to get into pigeon, starting with your right leg forward, bringing your right leg as much as you can parallel with the top of your mat. I have really tight hips, so I'm not able to bring it all the way parallel, but what's really important is making sure your right knee is tracking outside of your right hip. And then also, as much as you're able to just kind of square the hips. So I like to lift my body up first. You can also take a blanket or a yoga block and place it under your right cheek or your right glute if you need a little bit more leverage, and that helps also to square the hips. So lift up. I even like to take a little mini back bend, lift the heart, and then exhale, walk your fingertips forward. And you can just come down to your forearms, you can stack your fists and rest your forehead, or you can come all the way down and find a version of pigeon that works for you. Again, you can be on your back in a figure 4 stretch, but wherever you are, start to settle in and then bring your awareness and your focus and attention on your beautiful breath in and out through the nose. And with each exhale, just release and surrender a little bit more. Relax through the belly. Relax that left hip down. Relax behind your jaw. Relax your shoulders. And just fully surrender into this pose. Noticing the resist or the desire to move, and just kind of resist that and try to find some stillness here. A lot of times the yoga poses don't really start until the moment you want to come out of them. So again, noticing the difference between a really intense stretch and pain. If you're feeling stabbing, stinging, burning, numbing, then you want to come out of it. But if you're feeling a really intense stretch, then this is your opportunity to sit with it and relax into it. Let's take 3 more beautiful, long, full breaths here. And then carefully walk your hands back up. Sit up nice and tall. Find that back bend one more time. And then sweep the left leg forward. Bring your right leg forward. Sitting just for a moment in your staff pose, both legs out nice and long. And just kind of noticing the difference in the energy between your right and left side. Taking a moment of stillness before we switch to that second side. And then when you're ready, taking that left shin to the front corner of, or the front side of your mat, bringing your left knee to the outside of your left hip, taking that right leg back behind you, or again, laying down on your back, crossing opposite ankle over your thigh, flexing your feet and pulling that thigh in. Again, I like to kind of just sit up nice and tall, lift the heart, square the hips, dropping that right hip forward. You can also, again, take a blanket or a yoga block underneath that left seat, and then start to walk your fingertips forward, coming down as far as you're able to.
Noticing the difference on this left side and the story it's telling versus your right. And again, just releasing into this pigeon pose. Relaxing your shoulders. Relax again through your jaw. Relax your belly. Drop the right hip. And breathe into that left hip. Three more breaths. Long, full, peaceful breaths. And then carefully lift your hands. Lift up back onto the palms of your hands. Lift your heart one more time. And then this time, sweep that left leg back. So if you're laying on your back, you're going to come down onto your stomach for just a moment. And then tee out your arms. Bring one ear to the mat. And just feel your heartbeat against the mat. Relax and surrender all of your body into the earth. And then bring your chin to the mat so your gaze comes forward. Tent your hands, so just the tips of your fingers are touching. And you want to bring your hands up in front of your shoulders and kind of out to the sides. Bring your chin to the mat. On your inhale, keep your lower body on the mat. Just start to peel your upper body up off the mat. But think about less about pressing into your hands and more about working those muscles up and down your back, up and down along the spine. Exhale, slowly lower back down to the earth. Inhale, lift up. Press your pelvis into the mat. Lift using your back muscles. And exhale, lower down. This time on your inhale, lift up and twist and look over your left shoulder. And exhale, back down. Inhale, twist and look right. And exhale down. Inhale up through center and hold. And exhale, lower back down. Press yourself back, find child's pose. Toes together, knees wide. And then when you're in this child's pose, take thread the needle. So lift your upper body up slightly. Take your left arm, thread it through, drop your left shoulder cap down to the earth, and then lower your head back down. Keep dropping that left shoulder. Just breathe about that left shoulder. Lift your upper body back up, sweep that left arm forward, take your right arm underneath, drop the right shoulder, drop your forehead, reach the left fingertips forward. Lift your upper body, sweep that right arm up, and then walk yourself back up through tabletop. Find a seat on your mat, and take your legs out nice and wide. So we're going to do one last stretch sitting here, and then we'll lower down onto our backs for some final spinal twists and Shavasana.
So take your legs out nice and wide, really press down in through those sits bones. Inhale your arms up, rotate over so you're facing over your right thigh, and then exhale, lower as much as you can over your right leg. So let your shoulders really frame that right leg, your heart is melting down, and then you're using your hands, either grabbing your foot, your ankle, your calf, to pull you down a little bit further over that right leg. And just hold here for a few breaths. You should feel a nice big stretch in that back side of that right leg. Inhale your arms back up, rotate through center, and then rotate over. So your torso and chest is facing over that left leg. Exhale, fold over. Reaching for your toes, ankle or calf. Let your shoulders frame over your right or left thigh. Let your head be heavy. Relax your shoulders. And stay nice and low. Sweep yourself back through center. Walk your fingertips forward. Sway side to side with your upper body. Point and flex your feet so that your inner thighs start to release. You can even start to take some ankle rotations. And then keep walking your fingertips forward. And start to lift your upper body back up. Walk your fingertips back in towards your body. Bring your legs together and then turn to face towards the front of your mat. Take a bend in your knees. Sit up on nice and tall on your glutes. Reach your arms forward. Sink back so you're resting on your glutes and lift your legs up so you're in a half boat or Navasana pose. And just hold here. Keep lifting your chest, rolling the shoulders back and down. You can always take your hands back behind you or hold onto your thighs for a little added support here. 2 more inhales and exhales. 1 more. And lower your feet back down. Take your legs nice and long. C-curve your spine and slowly, with control, lower yourself down onto your mat. Once you're there, hug your knees into your chest. Rock side to side. And then tee out your left hand, left arm. Bring your gaze to your left fingertips. Take your right hand and drop your knees over to the right for a spinal twist. So at this point, you're letting go of control of that Ujjayi breath, where you restrict the back of your throat and just allow the breath to rise and fall naturally as it needs to. Maybe closing your eyes, relaxing and surrendering into this spinal stretch and twist. Dropping that left shoulder back down towards the mat. And bring your gaze back up towards the sky. Take your right arm out. Use your core strength to lift your knees up through center. And then take your left hand to your knees, drop the knees over to the left, and bring your gaze over to your right fingertips. And then once you're there, just relax. Release into this pose. Then bring your gaze back up towards the sky, lift your knees back up, hug them in, and then take a happy baby, taking hold of the insteps of your feet, dropping your knees down towards your armpits. You can rock side to side, giving your spine a nice little massage. And then really press your tailbone down towards the earth to lengthen your spine. And then from here, you can take that into a wide-legged straddle stretch, straighten your legs and pulling the feet down towards the earth. Coming back in through happy baby, taking that a few more times.
And then carefully release your feet. Take your legs nice and long. Reach your arms overhead. Take a full body stretch. From your fingertips to your toes, try to create more space and length. And then reach your arms up to the sky and exhale your arms down by your sides. And as we prepare for Shavasana, you have a couple options here. So your palms can be facing up. And what that signals is that you're ready to receive the benefits of your practice. So that feeling that you wanted to, that intention that you called to mind at the beginning of your practice, whatever you want to cultivate more of, you're receiving those benefits into the palms of your hands. If you feel more like now is the time to just release and surrender and let go of what no longer serves you and to just let it out, then turn your palms to face down towards the earth. And wherever you would like to be, just close your eyes. And as you rest here in Shavasana, we're going to take some time for stillness and time for silence and allow your breath to rise and fall naturally. See if you can just turn off of your mind for a moment and just rest as you receive the benefits of your practice, as you download and absorb all of the ways in which you moved and stretched your body. Just take a moment to be still and to be here now. You are more than welcome to stay here in this Shavasana as long as you need to. Maybe pause the video. And if you're ready to start to come back to this present moment, just take a moment before you invite any movement into your physical body. So just notice what you notice. Give yourself a quick scan. Notice how your body's feeling. Notice the air against your skin, the temperature of the room. Notice the sound of my voice or the sound of anything around you. Notice the smell or the taste in your mouth. Just bring to your awareness all of your senses. The points of contact of your body with the mat, with the earth. And be grateful for this time on your mat. And then just start to invite some gentle movement back into your body, wiggling your fingers and toes, deepening your inhales and your exhales. Calling back to mind your intention. And then hugging your knees into your chest, rocking yourself up through seated. And find your cross-legged seated position. And keeping your eyes closed for just a moment as you close out your practice. Sitting up nice and tall, feeling grounded, feeling more peaceful, feeling more calm. And taking that feeling or that intention that you began with and taking that off of your mat and into your day and into your week and into your month. And knowing that this peaceful feeling, this calm, this joyful feeling is always available for you whenever you may need it. On your next inhale, reach your arms up to the sky. And on your exhale, bring your hands to your heart center in prayer. It is an honor and it's honor and privilege to guide you through your practice today. Thank you for showing up and thank you for being you. Namaste.